Shavkat Rakhmonov versus Ian Machado Garry is official. Guys, I called it. I said they would do this. I said they'd have no other options. And the comments on the video I posted saying Shavkat versus Ian Garry will fight at 310, everyone said no, they won't. Everyone called me an idiot. Everyone called me stupid. But now look what they're doing. They're fighting. And I'm going to break down the matchup for you today. We're going to give just a quick little prediction video. I don't do enough of these prediction videos, and I really enjoy doing them. I enjoy educating myself on the fighters and how they fight. And after really close assessment, you guys are going to kill me for saying this. The whole community is going to kill me for saying this. But you also killed me for saying Paddy Pimblett would finish Bobby Green in a round, and he did it. You also killed me for saying Oliveira would beat Chandler by a decision after losing the last round, and he did. Ian Machado Garry will destroy Shavkat Rakhmonov. Simple as that. I think Garry goes out there and he beats him from pillar to post with no real threat. Oh, Finn, but Shavkat's 18-0 and 18 finishes. Ian Garry has like 7 decisions and he's only 15-0. He's easy like a 50-50 fighter. Ian Garry's going to come out in this fight with nothing to lose, a lot more venom, and I think he's going to get the job done. I think he finishes Shavkat in round 2 or 3. Low kicks will add up, and then I think it'll be just a bank right hand drops Shavkat, then he gets into mount and finishes him off. I think it's the stars are just lining, and this will be a huge fight. I wish they put an interim belt on the line and made it the main event, but you know, the flyweights are in the main event. This is a 5-round co-main event. I'm absolutely fine with that, as long as it's a title eliminator, which it is. And I just want to say fair play to Shavkat for taking this fight. He could have waited out, but he's not wanting to wait out maybe until June for Bilal Muhammad to come back. And I think Ian Garry versus Bilal would be a fun fight. I also think Shavkat versus Bilal would be a fun fight. However, I do think Ian Garry beats Shavkat Rakhmonov, and I think if it gets into the deep waters, I'd say Shavkat's more conditioned there. He's lived there a bit longer. But Ian Garry does not mind making a fight boring. He does not mind scooting around the cage jabbing. I actually was very tempted to pick Joaquin Buckley against Ian Garry just because of that power. But I must admit, Ian Garry is extremely fast. He makes adjustments on the fly, and he does whatever is necessary to win, even if that means making it boring. He released an Instagram video saying, I will find a way to win, and I think he will. Now, when it comes to the wrestling of Ian Garry, we haven't seen it. However, I think he'll be throwing submissions out there, attacking off of his back with elbows. He's a vicious and clinical man. Now, he loves violence, and I think he knows in his heart and his head, you need to throw some vicious techniques. Throw that knee up the middle. If Shavkat grabs it, do some vicious damage from bottom, make it a compelling back and forth round, even if you're on your back, anti-jiu-jitsu. And when one minute you think, oh, he's going to try break out from this, then catch him. Dive for leg locks, dive for heel hooks, be a complete mixed martial artist. The strength factor is the one thing I'm massively worried about. I truly think Shavkat's much stronger than him, so I am worried about that if it comes down to a choke or a squeeze, but I think Ian Garry just beats him up. On the feet, I think Garry just beats him up, and if there's not a real power threat coming back or not a real speed threat, I think Ian Garry has his way with anyone. He had over 200 amateur boxing fights growing up, and people really forget that. I've seen the MMA guru said he doesn't like Ian Garry's boxing. His boxing's the best thing about him. He tried getting into the Olympics last year when he wasn't getting fights booked. He just said, yeah, I'll pop into the Olympics really quick earlier in the year, back in the summertime. So he's in Thailand now. You'll get a lot of Russians in Thailand at the moment, a lot of good looks. I think he's also training in Surrey, where they bought a house, which is a bizarre place for him to have bought a house, especially as a high-performance MMA fighter. Like, is he not in Brazil anymore? He's posting stuff with Damian Maia. I don't like how unsettled his routines seem to be, but I think that works for him. And I think he needs to have in his head going into this fight, dominate. He just needs to not give... I think people give Rakhmonov far too much credit. I think he's there to be hit. He did not look great against Wonderboy, and since the Wonderboy fight, Wonderboy has not looked great against Shavkat. I think Ian Garry jabs the head off of him and knocks him out in the second or third round, and then gets him mount and finishes him off. The referee stops it. I can just see it. I can see Ian Garry's jab just being a huge factor in this fight. Snapping little calf kicks that he does, and just jab and scoot around, jab, maybe get taken down towards the end of a round, get back up, sit down in the corner, talk to your coaches, enjoy it. If he goes out there and enjoys himself, and isn't too tense and like, fuck, this moment's huge, then we've got a really good fight on our hand. And I think Shavkat will be thinking to himself, oh, I need to get this one or else I lose my title shot. And why is Ian Garry so confident to take this fight on 4 weeks notice, 3.5 weeks notice, 3 weeks notice even? It's 3 weeks notice. The fight is literally in, I think, 17 days. Wow. Time flies. Ian Garry's been so active, and I respect Ian Garry so much for taking this fight, and I know all of you hate Ian Garry, but can you not just see him jabbing and scooting and jabbing, then 1-2, then missing the second shot, and then being in a clinch, then Shavkat kneeing him and then breaking, and it just being a really fun, good fight. And then I can see Ian Garry just dunk, and kind of almost being shocked at himself after dropping him. But on the other side of the coin, can Shavkat just go out there and finish him and find a way like he always does? I think Ian Garry's faster. I think he's more technically sound. I also think he will have a better game plan going into this, because you kind of know what Shavkat's going to do. He's going to try and make it dirty. He's going to try hold you against cage. He's going to try to take you down. He's going to land dirty boxing shots. But we have seen Shavkat struggle against geoff Neal, and Ian Garry and Neal are completely different strikers, and I think Ian Garry will get it done. Ian Garry has a way to get out of fights unscathed and make them close, and I think this time he's going to know he can't make this close. He's just got to go out there and absolutely do a number on this man. And I think that's what he's going to do. I truly think, and you guys can slag me off all you want for saying that. Wait till it happens. I can see it. And I know everyone's picking Shavkat, because Shavkat, when it comes to deep waters, Ian Garry doesn't let fights get into deep waters where he's in trouble, where he's struggling to breathe. That's not his style. You have to remember that. It takes two men to make a slugfest. It takes two men to have a war. And if one of those men is just not going to engage in that war and is going to make it boring, and he knows, I'll find a way to win regardless, and he'll know, oh, I'm behind, I've got to make something happen here. The same way against MVP, he was diving for a knee bar, from leg locks, everything, from guard, he was elbowing, kicked MVP off, got up, took it. I think we're going to see a new Ian Garry here, someone who's going to stand in the cage, look across and think, I'm going to do a fucking number on it. I want to see an aggressive and vicious, calculated Ian Garry with a jab. And I don't want to see nothing reckless. I want to see him at range just beating him up. I'm going to go Ian Garry by 3rd, 4th round KO, or TKO rather, maybe 2nd or 3rd round. What do you guys think? Let me know. This could be a really fun one. It could be a really, really fun one. Thanks for watching, folks. Subscribe, like and comment.